Manchester United have the perfect transfer solution with ideal swap. Selling is as vital as buying for Man United this summer, and they are a club that have seldom negotiated swap deals. Jamal Musiala has turned heads at Manchester City, and it is the other two-goal German at the European Championship that United should have their eyes fixed on. Niklas Füllkrug is 31, an old-fashioned striker and a substitute for Germany. He would not be an exotic post-tournament signing with an esteemed name, Jordi Cruyff, and is unlikely to notch the goal of the tournament, Karel Pobosky. While Weghorst was not fashionable, either. There was logic to acquiring the Dutchman to offset the departure of Cristiano Ronaldo, but Weghorst was overexposed by the oft-absent Anthony Martial. Füllkrug is not a knee-jerk suggestion. This correspondent has prattled on about his ideal profile for United to consider for months on the Manchester is Red podcast. As United know from Cruyff, Pobosky and Weghorst, signing someone solely on the back of international tournament form is ill-advised. It was par for the course yesteryear. Alex Ferguson attended Czech Republic vs Germany at Old Trafford in the group stage of the 1996 European Championship and was approached by an agent before kickoff. The agent told him to keep an eye on Pobosky. 3 weeks later, Ferguson decided to move for the winger, despite expressing nearly as much disapproval for Pobosky's long hair as Mr. Burns did for Don Mattingly's sideburns. Such a scouting strategy would be anathema to any elite club now. Even under Ed Woodward, United settled on a shortlist of summer targets 6 months in advance. Füllkrug stood out as an obvious option some time ago. United need a seasoned striker who will mentor Rasmus Højlund, keep him on his toes and be a reliable starter and substitute. The centre-forward started in 12 of Dortmund's 13 matches of their Champions League run last term and 29 times in the Bundesliga, tallying a reasonable 16 goals in 46 games, almost exactly the same as Højlund's 16 in 43. Füllkrug will not be mentioned in the same breath as Robert Lewandowski or Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang by the bricks on the yellow wall, but United need a solid building block. Füllkrug only joined Dortmund from Werder Bremen last year and has already entered the final 2 years of his contract. He has good club pedigree, but it is great at international level, 13 goals in 19 games. 4 in 6, all off the bench, at the World Cup and Euros. Füllkrug's 92nd minute equaliser against Switzerland on Sunday night secured Germany top spot in Group A. It is not as though Dortmund have Champions League football to offer Füllkrug. They, like United, will be in the Europa League next term. Representing United would continue the sudden ascent of a veteran who did not make his Germany debut until the eve of the 2022 World Cup in Qatar. The additional incentive for United is Jadon Sancho. United have to be more creative in the transfer market as they strive to meet the Premier League's profitability and sustainability rules. Sancho's valuation and salary are stumbling blocks to navigate if he is to permanently return to his home of Dortmund. In recent years, some clubs have negotiated de facto swap deals that are structured to specifically enhance balance sheets. Sancho is valued at £40 million by United, and Füllkrug, a starting striker for Champions League finalists and currently the joint top scorer at the Euros, is worth more than the €13 million and €2 million of add-ons Dortmund agreed to pay Werder Bremen 10 months ago. Ten Hag wanted another forward last summer, but the presence of Martial, conveniently injured for almost the entirety of the transfer window, prevented United from making a move. Martial's weekly salary of £250,000 and his unsellable status proved prohibitive. Martial will officially be off the books this time next week. His profile will be removed from the first team section of the club website and, going off the standards of the United matchgoers, his name will not be aired when they go through their repertoire of former player chants. There will be no period of mourning. Ten Hag publicly and privately bemoaned his limitations up front throughout last season, and the fateful decision to sign an unproven striker rather than a proven one played out worse than expected. Højlund had a creditable season, but United finished the Premier League in 8th, with a minus goal difference. Pobosky was in the Old Trafford press room a handful of times last season, and looks better now than he did during his Euro 96 heyday. Smartly attired with a stylish stubble and tidy haircut, no one other than this correspondent recognized him. He was more often decent than dreadful for United, and was still going strong at Euro 2004 for a crowd-pleasing Czech side that reached the semi-finals. Later that year, the Old Trafford crowd stood to applaud Poborski on his return with Sparta Prague, curtailed by a red card. Ferguson did recruit a substitute striker after Euro 96, one who was not involved in the competition. His name was Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. Federico Chiesa deal, new Marcus Rashford role, how Man United can line up after £42 million transfer. Erik Ten Hag will be looking to strengthen the Manchester United squad this summer. After failing to secure Champions League qualification, Erik Ten Hag would have a wealth of options if Manchester United managed to wrap up a deal for Federico Chiesa this summer. The 26-year-old forward faces an increasingly uncertain future at Juventus, with his contract in Turin set to expire next year. Chiesa featured 33 times for the Old Lady in the Serie A last season, scoring 9 goals and providing 3 assists. Despite some poor results, which saw the Italian giants finish 23 points short of the champions Inter Milan, he still managed to impress. The Italy international has been rewarded with a place in Roberto Mancini's starting lineup at Euro 2024 as they look to defend their title. With Chiesa yet to pen an extension at Juventus, he's been heavily linked with a move to the Premier League. According to the Italian publication La Gazzetta dello Sport, Juventus want to sign Mason Greenwood, but they're unwilling to match United's asking price, which is said to be £42 million. The report states that the Old Lady are exploring alternative options to seal a deal, which could include Chiesa heading to Old Trafford in a swap deal. Juventus have already shown their willingness to exchange players this summer, swapping Enzo Barrenechea and Samuel Illing Jr. plus cash for Douglas Luiz. So, with that being said, the Manchester Evening News has taken a look at 3 different ways United could line up on the opening weekend of the Premier League season with Chiesa in the side. For -2-3-1. Ten Hag has regularly used a 4-2-3-1 since taking the reins at United. With a pragmatic defensive structure, the Red Devils could unleash one of the most dangerous attacks in the Premier League. With Chiesa on the right, Marcus Rashford on the left, Bruno Fernandes in the number 10 role and Rasmus Højlund leading the line, United will strike fear into any defense. Not to mention Alejandro Garnacho will be available off the bench, in addition to whoever else Sir Jim Ratcliffe brings to Old Trafford. Joshua Kimmich, anyone? 4-3-3. While there are many similarities between a 4-2-3-1 and a 4-3-3, there will be a greater emphasis on the wingers to provide Højlund support. Whether they're making runs in behind to stretch the opposition backline or combining with the Dane, Chiesa and Rashford will have to put in the hard yards. The Italian also has a tremendous work rate, which will be just what Ten Hag needs, especially if United want to maintain a high intensity across the span of a season, which will likely include a cup run or 2. For 4-2. Towards the end of the 2023-24 campaign, Ten Hag used a narrow 4-4-2. This proved particularly effective in transition, regularly catching the opposition on the counter-attack. If the Dutchman really wants to throw the kitchen sink at a team, then lead with Rashford and Højlund, while Chiesa and Garnacho take up wide positions. Then, in the heart of midfield, Bruno Fernandes can partner Kobbie Mainoo. Who are Snapdragon? Man United's 2024-25 kit sponsor behind new £60 million deal. Manchester United will have a brand new sponsor on the front of their 2024-25 season kit after a new deal. Manchester United's 2024-25 home kit will be released next week, July 1st, and supporters will notice a big chance on the front of the red strip. US technology firm Qualcomm Snapdragon will sit as the front of shirt sponsor starting this season after a deal in the region of £60 million per year was agreed in September. TeamViewer were front and center on the kits of both the men's and women's teams over the past 3 seasons. Confirming the deal, United said in a statement at the time, Manchester United plc has agreed to an expanded strategic collaboration with Qualcomm Technologies Incorporated that will see the Snapdragon brand displayed on the club's famous shirts. But who are the new sponsors of United and what shall the new kits look like with their logo? Men's Sport has taken a look. Who are Snapdragon? Qualcomm Snapdragon was established in November 2007 and its processors power premium products from the world's biggest brands across smartphones, PCs, extended reality glasses, gaming devices, wearables, and connected cars. Apple partnership boost. One of their customers is tech giants Apple, and the company announced they would be providing 5G chips to the iPhone until 2026. This proved to be good news for shares in Snapdragon, which rose by 4% by midday on Monday. Previous United connection. Those with good memories will remember Snapdragon from the US preseason tour this summer. The tech firm presented at the Reds trip stateside, and United even played in San Diego's Snapdragon Stadium against Wrexham. Following a youthful United side's defeat to Wrexham, the North Wales club received the Snapdragon Cup to commemorate their success. How will the new kit look with the Snapdragon sponsor? For most fans, the priority will be how the new kits will look with the Snapdragon logo on it. While many remember Sharp for its iconic and simple design, Snapdragon's logo is a little more complex. However, we can expect the logo to blend onto the red shirts like the current Team Viewer sponsor rather than being just printed on the front. New kit leaks. Ahead of the reveal of the 2024-25 kit unveil at the start of July, a number of leaks have emerged online. The new kit combines two shades of red in a gradient design, the first time since the 2016-17 season. All logos, the front of shirt sponsor, Adidas logo, and sleeve sponsor, are all white. It is important to note that while the pictures claim to show what United's home kit will look like next season, the club will not confirm anything until the official launch on July 1.